The companies that are starting into the virtual type things are actually saving 30% on bidding mistakes. Because they're actually working through the building process virtually, and they find out any mistakes that they had in their estimating. So
this is the Contractor Files podcast. Your hosts, Ethan McNeil and Trent Keith, take a deep dive into the construction and remodeling industry to uncover keys to success and pitfalls to avoid.
Yep, we are live.
All right, hello everyone. I'm Trent Keith.
And I am Ethan McNeil.
And we're back with another podcast.
Yes, this is episode 13. And the topic today is, what does the future of the construction industry look like?
Wow, what's it look like?
I don't know.
Do we have like a Star Wars edition or something?
Yeah, we're gonna give you some graphic images of what it will look like in the future. People in white suits and I don't know, probably just controlling drones or something.
There you go. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I don't think we do know exactly what the industry is going to look like in 100 years, but...
Oh, we're going that far out.
I don't know. Years. I don't know how far out do we want to...
I was thinking it'd be good to figure out next year. But...
Yeah, that's probably more what people are going to want to hear.
Okay, you want to go first with your first thing you got?
Yeah, so, the construction industry, obviously people are always going to need homes. They're always going to need to live somewhere, have a kitchen probably and a bathroom. Those things aren't going away. So obviously construction as a whole, I think is always going to be a safe industry to be in, because there's always going to be a demand for it. But it is changing. If you were using a hammer, we still use hammers. If you were using only hand-driven tools, and then power tools came out and you didn't switch over, you're going to be left behind, because now there's battery operated. And you know what? Even if you just jumped over to the corded power tools and then never switched to the battery operated ones, you're still going to be left behind compared to other companies. So the industry is always going to be advancing, but if you're worried about the industry going away, that's not going to happen. It is going to change into what it looks into something different, but yeah.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it's going to be there. I was thinking, the first thing I thought of was virtual type things, virtual design, visualization. If you could take a virtual tool to your clients and let them watch how the building process is going to work, what it's going to look like when it's done.
Yep.
That's really close, obviously, to happening now.
Yes.
And I think that's something that will be taking place sooner rather than later. Mm-hmm. And I saw a statistic that said the companies that are starting into the virtual type things are actually saving 30% on bidding mistakes. Because they're actually working through the building process virtually, and they find out any mistakes that they had in their estimating. So it's already beginning, and I think it's going to be here even on the residential side sooner than we know.
Yeah. Yep. Another thing, obviously, that's coming out when you talk about the future is there are lots of robots now that can do tasks that might have taken a lot of manpower before. I know that one of the big ones is layout robots. If you do like framing, they've got robot bots that can lay it all out, lay the wall, lay the floor plan, lay the plumbing, lay the electrical, all that stuff. They've also got ones that can do like the 3D printing of houses with concrete. What was it? Oh, yeah, I watched one robot they've got that can paint like entire buildings. They were more commercial based, but those things, I don't know if I would just jump into those. They're normally expensive, but it is something that I think it's going to come on down the road that you're going to get left behind if the whole industry starts switching over and you don't. But I could see those things becoming more affordable. It's almost like the sweeper robot. When it first came out, nobody was like, they were expensive and it wasn't a common household thing. They get them down to $100 now for a robot to sweep your house, and everybody buys them now. And I think that's going to be the same thing with construction robots. You can think, oh, I can't spend $100,000 for a robot that paints, but it's a matter of time before it becomes more affordable, I think.
Yeah, we even seen those machines that will actually build houses out of concrete. It's like a robot thing on rails that goes around.
Yes.
So there's all different types of them now, for sure. The next thing I was thinking about is prefabrication. You know, it keeps getting bigger and bigger. Of course, there's been trailers and modulars for a long time, but they're getting all different types of prefab homes now. And I think that's going to continue to expand because the quicker that they can throw something up on the job site, the better.
Oh, yeah.
And so the more they have prefabbed, I think it's going to get even more popular.
Yes.
And then you have robots to finish once it's there. I mean, it could be a quick process.
Yeah. I think these technology things, I mean, I think if you're a business and you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I stay on top of technology in my business, and like what do I implement and what do I not, I think it really comes down to your return on investment. If you can spend $5,000 on a piece of software, but you know it's going to reduce, and give you a good ROI, it's going to reduce your hours or whatever it is, then it's worth it. Go for it. And if you find, that's why on like robots or like the software stuff or any of the new technology, once the prices get to a point where I'm going to get a return on my investment here, then I think that's the moment that you switch over and start getting those things, because you don't want to be left behind. Yeah,
and the software is a big deal. I mean, back when we had the construction company, we bought, at the time, pretty high-end estimating software, and all companies that done a lot of estimating had to do that. So it wasn't cheap, but at the same time, it was well worth it. And not only did it save you a lot of mistakes, but it also saved you a lot of time once you got the technique of how to use it down.
Yes.
So I know a lot of insurance companies use software to bid different things, from storm damage and all that. So anytime you can afford software that will reduce mistakes and save you time, it's going to be worth it. For sure.
Yeah. And speaking of software, we have an estimating software that we are working on releasing as we speak. It is in the works, and it is going to help. Right now it's just kitchen and bathroom remodels, but it's going to help anybody who's focused on kitchen and bathrooms estimate their projects in a matter of minutes. So that's just an example of how the technology is advancing, and this is definitely going to be something that I think will be the standard for estimating in the future. So
yes, definitely. And not only can you do it in a matter of minutes, but you can have the customer sign paperwork and the contract right there before you leave, if they have a printer, or if they can do it by email. So
or on their device.
Yeah, on their device. And the thing of it is it's a very cost-effective way to do it. It would have been nice back when we were paying for software if we could have got it as cheap as this one is. Yes. And so that's something you're going to want to check into for sure.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I think almost all technology seems like what it's really geared at is reducing the amount of work that you have to do to get to the end. Yeah, to get to the end product. And this app is definitely going to do that. If you don't know how to get a hold of that app, then contact us. We'll let you know, that estimating app. But I think that with the labor issue, there's so many businesses struggling to keep up with the hiring process and keeping staff trained and all of that stuff. I think that you're going to see technology pushed even more. And because it is a solution, unfortunately, it is a solution for replacing people sometimes. You'll see companies like McDonald's and Walmart invest, millions of dollars into projects to replace people. And you've already got people that don't love doing manual labor sometimes. So you're really going to see technology, I think, in the future start trying to eliminate jobs that people don't like and that it's hard to find people to do.
Yes. Yeah, and not only is it eliminating jobs that it can simply, it's filling in jobs that people don't want to do. So it's a combination of both. We was at a restaurant not too long ago, just a few months back, and they had a little robot bring out our drinks and chips and the appetizer, I guess you would say. Yes. And so that's a little bit of a change. We hadn't seen that before.
No. I think that's a little creepy, in my opinion, but it's where we're headed. And if you're not on board, you're gonna be sorry. Unless you're retiring in the next few years, then don't worry about it.
Yep. The next thing I got on my list is smart cities. That's something that's getting bigger. And I don't know a lot about smart cities, but they were talking about in that how smart cities were actually helping the construction industry because they have so much more data and information that it can actually help these cities to grow faster, do the things they need to do and all that. So it'll be interesting to see what that amounts to.
Yep. I think that you could see designs changing in the future too, because I think that you'll see designs kind of shaped to what the people want to see, but also to what's easier. Like going back to the prefab question or topic, I think that you'll have styles that will be created because it's easier to get a program or a robot to build it this way. And so I think you'll have a lot of design things change in the next 50 years. I think you'll start to see a style that looks a little bit like, a little different than what we've seen before.
Yeah.
Could be wrong.
Yeah, definitely. I think it has to happen because they're going to make everything more streamlined. I feel like things need to be done quicker and quicker, and they have less labor force than they used to. So how do you do that other than come up with designs that go smoother and robots can do and they can pre-manufacture or prefabricate? Yep. Definitely.
I don't think it's too far-fetched in the prefab thing to think that you'll have a customer come into your office, you'll be able to virtually show them the house they're going to be buying, and then who knows what the time frame will be, but at some point that house will just get delivered to where they wanted it. And I think that could happen. I don't know how soon, but I think that is what we will be headed towards for new builds, new construction.
Yes, definitely. Exactly. And then you get on, that's just on the residential side, and then you get on the commercial side, and who knows what they'll do. I mean, with all the prefab things they can do. Did we stay alive?
Yeah, we're still on.
Okay. And the other thing that I noticed that I think is going to be a big increase in the commercial side is the drone work. I know they talk about on big projects, they use drones to kind of watch over the project. They actually use them to make sure everything's being done properly and to help keep materials in line for what they need next. That'll be interesting too to see. I mean, you can already see drones flying around different places, and then in these big cities, they could be all over the city working.
Well, that could be your security system too.
Could be.
They have. This is not really, this is a little off topic, but they have all these security companies that are putting in, probably millions of dollars into cameras and systems that are stationary. A camera can usually only point to a certain area or is controlled by a person in the back. If you got drones and robots that know a set path,
a perimeter, yeah,
it's gonna, you don't have wires through all the ceilings and stuff. It's gonna be a big game changer, I think.
It is. You're right. Definitely. And then, that could actually help you around your own house now that you say that, Ethan, because if you have a drone that's going around watching what you're doing, you'll be less apt to sit on the couch and not do anything. Because your wife will say, "I seen what you were doing." It was nothing.
Or maybe the drone will just be like, "You have been stationary for 20 minutes.
That's right. You need to get up."
That's when you shoot your drone. I deleted an app last night because, and there might be some people that like this and don't like this, I have been using for about probably 5 years this app that I have not paid for, that is Sleep Cycle, and it's a alarm that wakes you up in like a 30-minute window when it's like listening for when you're out of your sleep cycle. And I've loved it. Well, last night I opened up the app and it says, "Get notified of rising coughs in your area." And I realized that they are not just taking the data and analyzing it for me, but they're taking whatever sounds they hear throughout the night and they're analyzing it and selling it
for your area,
for our area, or for who knows what. And I was like, "No, thank you. I'm done. I that's not okay. I don't want you analyzing whatever sounds you hear all night long." No.
So you think we'll hear your snore on the internet?
Yeah,
someday?
possibly. I mean, it could go viral, but I probably signed somewhere in their terms and conditions that it was okay. But there's always,
there's always something behind it.
Yeah, you got to keep your eye out there.
Yep. All right. Did you have anything else on your list?
Yeah, I did. So the design stuff, going back to your first topic. So right now, you can design stuff on a computer. Like, that's been out for a while. It's been on HGTV forever. And, walk through the home. And the graphics have definitely gotten better than they once were. But they are getting better and better at the virtual reality headsets. And I'm sure there's already probably a company working on this, or multiple companies. But yeah, it's not going to be long before you have your customers come in and they put on the goggles and they see their kitchen and the bathroom exactly how it's going to be, and make sure that that's all right with them.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you're going to get that incorporated into like legal documents of, did you sign off on your virtual reality tour? But it probably will happen. There'll probably be new laws and stuff that'll come into play. But that's probably going to happen sooner than they have robots building houses, I think. Because the technology is already there that you can do these walk through the augmented, but I could be wrong.
Well, yeah, I see what you mean. I think that's already a possibility, but robots building houses is already a possibility too. On the exterior, you know what I mean?
Yes.
The shell of the house is already happening. So, but you're right. As far as more used on the residential side, I would think that would be something that there's companies you can go out and they would do that for you right now.
Right.
They'd be able to make the kitchen the way you want, the bathroom or whatever, and you go in and see it. Now, it may cost almost as much as the remodel. I'm not sure. I don't know what it would cost, but I'm sure they can do it.
Yes. I saw, this is not about construction, but there's these robots, these mowing robots that they're just basically like the size of a zero turn, and they're just all GPS tracked, and they like sense if anybody walks around them or anything, but they mow. And I think that the landscaping business, the whole mowing business, is definitely, just like the construction, it's going to be in for a big revolution in how things are done. Because if one person can go around and just deploy these robots versus having a crew of people who also run into fences and mess things up, I mean, it's going to be crazy, I think.
It is, yeah. I think we will see a lot of changes in a lot of industry in the next 10 years.
Yes.
And construction is going to be one of them.
Yep.
They got to be building faster and bigger and fancier.
Yes. So to get started, in your first step is to sign up for our app.
That's exactly right. That's the simplest, cheapest start.
Yes. And if you feel completely lost in technology, because there's already so many good tools out there that have been built that if you're not utilizing, there's marketing tools, there's communication tools, there's project management tools. If you're not taking these things and using them in your business right now, because all of those things have been built and have a good ROI, then contact us, and we would love to sit down with you, look over your business. We have a consulting side of this, and we would be happy to help point you in the right direction of software and things that you could do to improve your business.
That's right. Definitely.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening. I'm Trent Keith.
Yep. And I'm Ethan McNeil. We will see you in the future. That was fun.
Thank you for tuning in to our podcast. Be sure to share this podcast with your friends and family. To ask us any questions that might get answered in our next podcasts, please visit our website, thecontractorfiles.com. Have a great rest of your day.